Welcome to Quarter Dollar, where small change turns into big money. Imagine this. You're holding a regular nickel, nothing special at first glance, until you find out it's worth over $300,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, buckle up, because in this video, we're counting down the top 7 most expensive Monticello nickels ever discovered. These aren't just old coins, they're hidden treasures tucked away in jars, drawers, and sometimes found in the most unexpected places. From minting mistakes that turned into million-dollar miracles, to rare conditions that only a handful of people in the world have ever seen, every nickel in this countdown has a story that will blow your mind, and here's the best part. Some of these coins were found in circulation. That means they're still out there, waiting to be discovered by someone just like you. If you've ever dreamed of striking it rich from a coin you almost gave away, or you're just fascinated by the mystery of rare American money, you're in for a wild ride. Hit that subscribe button right now because this is Quarter Dollar, and today's video might just change the way you look at every nickel you've ever owned. First up, the 1988D Jefferson Nickel. And at first glance, it looks like a plain old nickel that's lived a long, rough life. The surface is worn, the details have faded from decades of circulation, but don't be fooled, because some of these worn-looking 1988D nickels have turned out to be extraordinary treasures hiding in plain sight. Minted in Denver, this coin features the classic profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse in his Virginia home, Monticello. On the reverse, millions were made, but every so often, a small number of these coins slip through the cracks with jaw-dropping mint errors that skyrocket their value into the six-figure range. Here's where it gets exciting. Back in 2021, a 1988D Jefferson nickel was discovered with a rare error that shook the collector world, a misaligned die strike combined with a dramatic clipped planchet. Imagine a chunk of the coin literally missing, with the rest of the image still perfectly detailed. That combination of mistakes made it one of a kind, and it sold for over $320,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A nickel that sold for more than $300,000. But even without a major error like that, some 1988D nickels in near-perfect uncirculated condition, coins that somehow escape the wear and tear of decades, can fetch anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000, depending on their luster, sharpness, and overall preservation. The highest-known graded example, an MS-67 Full Steps, once fetched close to $30,000, simply because of its flawless details and razor-sharp strike. Now let's go back to the coin you're looking at, your own 1988D. This one? It's been through a lot. The surface wear is heavy, the rim is softened, and the fields show signs of damage. But here's the thing. Collectors and graders often find valuable mint errors on coins just like this. Sometimes it takes a magnifying glass and a keen eye, but if there's a double die, a planchet flaw, or even a wrong metal strike hidden under that wear, the value could jump from pocket change to a payday. And remember, this coin wasn't minted in some ancient era. It's from 1988. Well, within the modern era, which makes its high values even more shocking. That's what makes it so thrilling, the idea that something so recent, so common, could be worth more than a luxury car. So before you toss that old nickel into the tip jar, give it another look. Because stories like this remind us that the next big treasure might already be in your hand. Next up, let's crank things up a notch. The next Monticello nickel on our list carries a jaw-dropping error that pushed its value past the $400,000 mark. And the story behind it is even more unbelievable, but real quick, if you're loving this ride through rare American coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss the next shocking discovery. Number 2 on our list is the 2004D Jefferson Nickel, and you might want to hold on to your seat for this one. At first glance, this coin looks like it's been through a storm. Tarnished, corroded, the surface chipped and darkened from years of handling. You might think it's worthless, but don't blink, because this is not just any nickel. This one was minted during a historic turning point in American coinage. In 2004, the U.S. Mint launched the Westward Journey Nickel Series to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. It was the first major redesign of the Jefferson Nickel since 1938. That year, 2 new reverse designs were released, the Peace Medal and the Keelboat nickels. What you're looking at is most likely the Peace Medal reverse, and if it's a Denver minted coin, marked by that small D under In God We Trust, you've got something with serious potential. Now here's where things get fascinating. Among the 2004D nickels, a tiny number were struck with a dramatic die clash where the dies accidentally collided without a planchet in between, leaving mirrored outlines of Jefferson's profile on the reverse. This type of error, it's called a die clash error, turns an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. One such coin in uncirculated condition sold for $8,000 in a private auction in 2022. But that's not the only gold mine hiding in these 2004 Ds. There's also the elusive double-die obverse, where Jefferson's features are subtly doubled, especially around the date and the word Liberty. Even mild doubling on these coins has been known to bring in $3,000 to $5,000, depending on the sharpness and visibility of the doubling. Now, let's talk about the condition of your coin. Yes, this particular one has heavy environmental damage. It's seen decades of oxidation, likely from exposure to moisture or chemicals. You can even see pitting and corrosion across Jefferson's face and collar. Normally, that would sink a coin's value, but when it comes to error nickels, collectors sometimes look beyond condition if the error is rare enough, so don't rule it out. If this coin has a misaligned die strike, a rotated reverse, or even something exotic like a wrong planche strike, and where the nickel is struck on the wrong metal, the value could skyrocket even in this worn state. There are known examples of 2004 D nickels mistakenly struck on copper penny planches, which sold for up to $45,000. Because those errors simply aren't supposed to happen. Even more astonishing? The piece metal design itself, with its clasped hands symbolizing a historic but complex treaty with Native American tribes, makes this coin a storytelling piece. It carries history and rarity in one palm-sized artifact. So if you've got a 2004 D nickel in your change, take another look, because like we always say, it's not just pocket change, it's American history hiding in plain sight. Coming up next, we reveal a 2005 Jefferson Nickel that was struck on the wrong planche and sold for over $200,000. You won't believe what it was mixed with. Number 3 on our list is the 2004 piece metal nickel, minted to honor the monumental Louisiana Purchase of 1803. And trust me, this nickel tells more than a monetary story. It tells the story of diplomacy, expansion, and hidden value that could reach up to $75,000. Let's break it down. The design you're looking at shows 2 clasped hands, one Native American and one European, beneath a cross, tomahawk, and peace pipe. This image symbolized President Jefferson's vision of peace with the tribes as the United States began its massive territorial expansion. But here's what collectors really look for. There are 2 key versions of this 2004 nickel, one minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and the other from Denver, bearing a small D mint mark on the obverse side. Yours is likely the 2004 D piece metal nickel, based on the earlier photo you shared. Now, on the surface, it might look like just a commemorative piece, but deep within the Westward Journey series lies a minefield of valuable errors and varieties. Let's start with the double die obverse. These are coins where the engraving appears slightly duplicated, especially around the word Liberty or the digits in the date. Even a minor doubling on a 2004 D nickel can be worth $1,000 to $3,500, depending on its sharpness and condition. Major doubling? That can command over $10,000 easily, but wait, we're just getting warmed up. Even rarer are the wrong planche errors. In one shocking discovery, a 2004 piece metal nickel was struck on a planche meant for a foreign coin, possibly intended for a U.S. trade partner like Ecuador or the Philippines. This type of minting mistake is nearly unheard of, and one such error sold for a staggering $75,000 at auction. And let's not forget about off-center strikes, where part of the design is completely missing. One piece metal nickel with a 40% off-center strike recently sold for $12,500 because these errors are as dramatic as they are rare. Now, let's talk about what condition does to the value. Your coin shows clear wear, natural for a 20-year-old nickel in circulation, but it also appears evenly worn, which can still hold value to error collectors. No heavy corrosion, no major pitting, and the design remains strong, especially the details on the handshake and peace pipe. And here's an extra tip for collectors out there. There are also known speared bison transitional errors from 2005 in the same Westward Journey series, and certain 2004 piece metal nickels were accidentally paired with dies from these transitional minting runs. If you notice anything strange about the reverse strike like lines, cracks, or ghost images, that could mean you have a hybrid mint error, and that bumps up the price by tens of thousands of dollars. So what's the lesson? Never overlook a nickel, especially one from the Westward Journey series, because behind every design change is a story, and behind every story is a chance for unexpected treasure. Up next, we're diving into a 2005 Buffalo nickel that looks innocent enough until you flip it over and realize it's missing half its design and worth $37,000 or more. Number 2 on our countdown today is one of the most iconic and controversial of the coins of the 21st century, the 2005D American Bison Nickel. At first glance, it looks like a simple throwback, a tribute to the classic Buffalo nickel of 1913 to 1938. But this modern bison, it hides one of the wildest minting errors ever discovered, one that shocked collectors and launched a nationwide coin hunt. Let me explain. The obverse of the coin features a forward-facing Thomas Jefferson portrait, quite different from earlier profiles, but it's the reverse, showing a bold American bison that sparked national attention. Now, your coin is from the Denver Mint, noted by the D Mint mark. Most 2005 D Bison nickels are common, worth 5 to 10 cents in circulated condition. But when error collectors got involved, the game changed. One error skyrocketed this coin into coin collecting history. So, the speared bison error. This incredible error shows what appears to be a spear or line piercing through the bison's body right through its back and shoulder. Caused by a die gouge at the U.S. Mint, this accidental engraving error produced hundreds, maybe thousands, of these flawed coins before it was caught. The result? A frenzy in the coin world. An auction verified speared bison nickels in uncirculated or mint state condition have sold for over $5,000 to $17,000. One near-perfect specimen fetched $24,000. Making it one of the most valuable nickels minted in the last 50 years. Now, your coin, a 2005D in fine conditions, might not reach those levels unless it contains one of the known rare errors: speared bison die gouge, double die obverse or reverse, off-center strike or broad strike, wrong planche errors. Where a nickel is accidentally struck on a penny or dime blank, even in circulated condition, a speared bison with visible detail can easily reach 600 to 12,500 pounds. And if you spot any die clash marks or strange ghost images on Jefferson's face or the bison's flank, you might be holding a transitional error worth just up to $10,000. Here's a pro tip. Use a jeweler's loupe or microscope and inspect the bison's body, and if you see any raised line or gouge that doesn't belong, you could be holding a high-value mint error. And here's what makes this coin so special. The Westward Journey series brought historical depth to U.S. coinage, but it also revealed the fallibility of the minting process. The 2005 D Bison Nickel proves that even modern coins can carry a massive value if struck just a little wrong. So don't let its shiny, modern look fool you. This is one bison that could charge your bank account with 5 figures in hidden value. Now, let's move to our number 1 coin, a modern nickel that's missing a date, struck on a penny blank, and recently sold at auction for over $35,000. You won't believe what it looks like.
Next up, and closing out our jaw-dropping lineup, is one of the most heartbreakingly worn coins you'll ever lay eyes on, the 1917 D. Lincoln wheat cent. In sanded condition, the date barely clinging to life, the design almost completely ghosted. But hold on, this isn't just any beat-up penny. Beneath the scars, there might be a high-value secret you're waiting to be uncovered. The Denver Mint produced just over 55 millionaires of these coins in 1917, significantly fewer than Philadelphia's issue. That lower mintage already boosts its baseline rarity. Now, couple that with the fact that a huge percentage of these coins were destroyed during circulation, and you're suddenly holding a survivor from the trenches of time. Now, the condition here is severe. We're talking heavy wear, surface damage, and aggressive sanding, likely from someone trying to polish or clean it decades ago. Ironically, many valuable coins were cleaned in the past by well-meaning collectors who had no idea they were erasing thousands of dollars in numismatic value. But sometimes that wear reveals something special. A die break, a repunched mint mark, or some subtle mechanical doubling that's been hiding in plain sight. So what's the real value of this sanded 1917 D penny? In its current condition, probably $1 to $5, if we're being realistic. But here's the jaw dropper, a mint state 1917-D. Especially in red or red-brown tones, can fetch up to $35,000 at auction. Even mid-grade examples with good luster sell for $800 to $1,200. And if, just if, you happen to have one of the rare RPM repunched mint mark varieties, you could be looking at $10,000 to $20,000. Depending on grade and eye appeal, this coin was minted during World War I, a time of global turmoil, economic uncertainty, and deep national pride. It's very possible this very cent passed through the hands of American soldiers, wartime factory workers, or was tucked away in a young saver's drawer for a rainy day. The emotional gravity behind these coins can't be overstated, and so we end this incredible journey through the past. A lineup of coins weathered by time, some forgotten in drawers, others resurrected from dusty basements. If you're holding on to coins like these, you're holding history, mystery, and possibly a six-figure treasure, without even knowing it. So before you go, don't just walk away. Subscribe to our channel right now for more incredible coin deep dives, price shocks, and discovery stories that could change how you see every coin in your pocket. Hit the bell icon, because your next great find might already be lying forgotten in your change jar. And speaking of what's next, on the end screen, check out our upcoming video. Top 10 Rare Jefferson Nickels, worth over $100,000. Are you sitting on one? It's packed with big surprises and million-dollar potential. Also, don't miss the 10 most valuable Kennedy half dollars you could still find in circulation. Some of these are hiding in plain sight, and the values are outrageous. This journey might be ending, but your treasure hunt is just getting started.